event of the evening. This is the Starlight Stakes over 1,100 metres of listed status, and it's worth $100,000 in prize money. And one man very keen to get his share of that prize money is George Reid, all the way from Ballina. George, you've had this race in mind for Clay Shaker for quite some time.
Yeah, we had it ever since he come into work. We thought this would be a nice race for him. He's up in grade a lot, but he's been working well and done everything right.
Well, he won his first start in Sydney very impressively. How's he trained on since
Yeah,
then?
really well. He's trained on real good.
What did you make of his performance on that occasion?
That's how I thought he'd win.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I noticed you're wearing the same mustard shirt that you had on that day at Rose Hill. Is that some lucky thing?
Yeah, just a bit of an omen, isn't it?
Yeah, it happens a lot in racing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of trainers and even jockeys have a few little things that they like to repeat every week at the races.
That's right.
Where are the limits for this horse? Are there any?
We'll settle down and pick a program after to see how he goes tonight.
How confident are you really tonight? You were fairly confident when he won at Rose Hill. Or?
Yeah, it's a lot harder. It's if he's going to be a test for him. It's a bit hard to win, to sort of go straight up in that sort of race. But he's done everything right.
You think he'll get his own way in front tonight?
No,
like
I don't think he doesn't have to, really.
Really?
He can sit back a bit if he got to, you know.
In the tight turning circuit of Canterbury, you'll handle that okay?
Yeah, it won't hurt him.
All right. Thanks, George.
Thanks, Joe.
Okay. George Reid there. He's, as always, fairly reserved about the horse's chances, but I think we can take something from that. Clay Shaker should be hard to beat.
Tell you what, he's done a good job with the horse, Joe. He looked beautiful in the parade, and I've put him on top. I've gone 7, 3, 2 and 11. It is a very open race. I just think from the barrier there, he's going to end up in a nice spot. As you heard George say, he doesn't really have to lead. He ends up just in a nice spot. I think there's a lot of speed in the race, and I think he's the one to beat. I've thrown in number 3, Progress. He just will need a bit of luck from that barrier. I'm just worried if he doesn't get shunted back too far, because he's not a horse that shows a great deal of speed, but he's got the ability to really show up in a race like this. I've thrown number 2, Matter of Honour in. He's only ever had the one run here at the track and was a very good winner on that occasion. He's had the 2 runs back from a spell now. He looked very, very nice in the parade. And number 11, Donna Natalia. She has been a bit of a disappointment, I guess, but this might be just the type of race she could run well in here. She's got plenty of speed. Wide alley, I think she'll get across. Another one that looked okay, I thought, was number... lost my track of footing. Number 4, Amaru Force, a Melbourne horse here. He's barrier 1. I think he'll get a nice run there too. But 7, 3, 2, 11.
Horses will move up shortly for the running of the 2001 Starlight Stakes. In the meantime, let's head south to Andrew Bensley, trackside at Moonee Valley.
Good on you, Joe. Coming up to the Ian McEwan, we've got Scott Seymour with us with a pretty good chance here for Peter Moonee. Strategic Image. Scott?
Yeah, he does go very well, but, you know, first time against the open class sprinters, so, you know, he's in the race right up to his, you know, ears with it, but he's still going to find it quite difficult against the open class sprinters.
He won at this track 2 starts ago in pretty good fashion. He got headed and fought back and won, and then he went to the Ascot Vale and probably got revved up when Peter decided to put the blinkers on.
That's right. He also was on the wrong side of the track, so, you know, it was a very good run last start, and hopefully he's improved from that run, and up against open class sprinters, I think he'll go very well.
We should stress the blinkers have come straight off too after the Ascot Vale.
They certainly have.
How's it going, Scott? You've rode a winner yesterday for Bart. Things are creeping in okay with Ethereal last weekend in New Zealand performing pretty well too.
Yeah, she did go well. She ran a very encouraging race, first up over 1400 and fillies and mares, so it was quite good. And yesterday I rode my first winner here since I've been down for the 3 weeks so far. I've run 4 or 5 seconds since I've been down here in a couple of group races, so things are looking good.
Good luck to you, Scott.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate. Scott Seymour joining us with Strategic Image. A good chance in the Ian McEwan. Let's go to Canterbury and Ian Craig.
Right, Mike, thank you. And yes, the $100,000 Daily Telegraph Starlight Stakes is the principal attraction tonight. Very open market. Number 7 is the tote favourite, and that is Clay Shaker. He is the popular pick in the ring. He's been very well tried in the ring. A bit of money around for Matter of Honour, and a little bit for Amaru Force. National Saint hasn't budged from the time bookies put up their prices. Hasn't moved 1 iota. Now we've only got Donna Natalia to come up to line here at the 1100 metres. Previous race going to Explosive Love. Number 2 landed some nice bets, beating 6 Viejo and 11 Flying Mary. 10 ran 4th. Now line looks right. Set to run in the Daily Telegraph Starlight Stakes. Clay Shaker favourite. Amaru Force drawn on the inside racing in the Starlight, and immediately King of Acapulco dropped out to last, and Mystigic is the early leader, headed immediately by our Mick. Donna Natalia third, Oamaru Force is fourth, and then the favourite Clay Shaker deeper out as Matter of Honour, followed by National Saint. Glow Rest the grey over on the rails, 2 to Progress and a length to Natoire and Excellium. Pride and Power, Hellenic Prince and King of Acapulco is a conspicuous last. Out of the back straight, and our Mick is the leader. 3/4 Mystigic in third spot, Donna Natalia, the Victorian Oamaru Force the rails, then Clay Shaker followed by Matter of Honour, 3 to National Saint, and then Glow Rest and Excellium, Progress, Natoire, Pride and Power, Hellenic Prince and King of Acapulco, they're homeward bound, and our Mick is the leader. Is it on sufferance? Mystigic grabbed it immediately. Oamaru Force getting into the clear, so too Clay Shaker. National Saint locked away, and Progress trying to weave a passage, and he's coming up on the inside. In the meantime, Oamaru Force grabbed Mystigic from Progress. Oamaru Force, the outside, is doing by far the better, and the Victorian comes away to win it. Oamaru Force beat Mystigic and third Progress, then Pride and Power, Natoire, Hellenic Prince, National Saint, Clay Shaker, Excellium, King of Acapulco, Glow Rest, then Donna Natalia, Matter of Honour, and the early leader wilted to run last, our Mick.
And the consistent Oamaru Force, David Hall trained, and Glenn Boss ridden. Nice to see him win up there. We've got Mark Flaherty down here at Moonee Valley. And Mark, you've come off 2 winners today at Yarra Glen.
Yes, Alf. It's been a longish day. Track work this morning at Flemington and Yarra Glen today, but happy to be here.
You can sleep in the morning. Ruthless Tycoon performs well at the track. First up.
Yeah, speaking to Jim Mason earlier, and he felt that he will improve on this run. It's a tough field, and he's probably a better straight horse, so I think he's got this race in mind for later on, but we're definitely out there doing our best.
And is this, I think, Jim Mason's first runner since he's taken out his licence again?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, we wish him well. And also Casino Heights in race 6. Mark, he's racing well.
Yeah, very good win at Sandown in probably, of course, a weaker grade race, and would have suited me better if the track was a bit more rain affected. It seems quite firm out there tonight, but yeah, we're in it to win it and doing our best.
At least one thing about him, he can race on the speed, and it does appear to be suiting those horses.
Oh, definitely, it does here at the Valley, and his pattern, he does race on the speed, and you sort of get going a bit earlier on him, and that's how, we ride the Valley. So yeah, looking forward to riding him.
Okay, Mark, keep up the good work.
Thanks, Al.
Good to see you. Okay, there we go, Brendan. Mark Flaherty, and come off a double today, and let's wish him well on Ruthless Tycoon, and more so Casino Heights later in the evening.
Now, if that's a long day, isn't it? Yarra Glen today, then saddling up again under lights, he'll sleep well.
He certainly will. And I think, as Mark mentioned too, you're riding work early in the morning, you're going to Yarra Glen, you're travelling back to Moonee Valley. No, look, it is a tough day for them, and they have introduced a new rule, actually. Particularly, they're enforcing it with the apprentices. If they do ride at 10 o'clock or later, they're not allowed to ride work the following day.
A sleep in, won't that be good?
Hey, all the apprentices are absolutely wrapped, I can assure you of that.
You'll enjoy your sleep in tomorrow morning too.
Indeed I will.
Alf Matthews joining us from Moonee Valley. The feature race has been run and won at Canterbury as we await a scales report. Oamaru Force proving too strong, Glenn Boss and David Hall. They're looking pretty happy, the team trackside at Canterbury. And the Geiger Counter 4-year-old now wins 5 from 8. Goes around in the Miss Danehill colours. Ray Orloff and his wife among the owners there. Graham Begg just having a chat with Glenn Boss, who's unsaddling as we speak in the Canterbury Mounting Yard. So that's the feature race, the listed event tonight. The Quinella and Trifecta information, they ran 103.14. Even further emphasising the good run of Mystigic, so 103.14 for the 1100. That's flying time, the fast track. Now at Dapto, we'll be heading to Sandown shortly. Dapto to follow the big race is the Dapto Leagues.
Gary Kinnewell. Gary, high-class race?
It is a high-class race, Henry, yeah.
No doubt about that. What about your horse here? What are you expecting?
Well, I'd expect there's going to be a ton of pace on. I'd expect him to probably lob 5th or 6th. And, I'm just hoping he gets a nice crack at him and they turn for home.
No doubt about that. I guess when you look at the horse going back to 3 starts ago, one at Victoria Park, it then went to the Honda and the Goodwood. Goodwood, it probably didn't have a lot of luck.
Just didn't perform on the Morpheville circuit for some reason, and he's raced well here. He only finished a length and a bit off Testarossa in this race last year, so, we're just hoping he gets a nice run and finishes off well.
What do you got planned apart from this now after this?
Probably go into the Mercedes-Benz and then the Challenger.
Yeah, you've got some high-class races set out.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Well, he's got to be competitive with these to be able to go into those races, yeah.
And you've also got another one, Peppy
the Pug, yeah, he'll be over shortly, mate.
Yeah, won at Adelaide brilliantly a couple of weeks ago now, but it might be another one that we'll have to keep an eye on. Good luck to you, Gary.
Thanks very much.
Big race.
Good on you, mate.
Gary Kennewell joining us, the trainer of Tilt the Scales. On track, I can report to you that the favourite is Piavonic. Second pick is 8/8, and Typhoon Billy has been a drifter, and also Slipstream. Alf, you've got your numbers here in this race, 9, 8, 5 and 11.
Yes, Andrew, and I suppose the $64 question is whether 8/8s can get the money. Okay, number 9, I've put on top Typhoon Billy. Andrew, I've gone all through this race, and I'm going for barriers more so than anything else. I think Typhoon Billy from barrier 1, it's got nice speed, it can run time, it should be prominent, and it should have a good run. I've put in number 8, 8/8s to run second. Again, drawn 2, probably the one that won't go with horses like Typhoon Billy, but still should have a nice run. Number 5, which is Tilt the Scales, we spoke to Gary, looks very hard, very fit. I expect it to take up a forward position, even though Paddy Payne will attempt to ride nice and quietly. I think this horse is still at enough speed to be in the first 3 or 4. And then I've put in a little bit of a query, number 11, Katango, racing particularly well. It has won on the surface. I know its form in Adelaide is on slower tracks, but it's drawn well and, again, has got terrific speed. And I just think a lot of these horses that have drawn out are going to have a little bit of trouble in covering ground. I would rather be in front somewhere or just behind the leader to assure having the best run in this particular race. Hence my selections, 9, 8, 5 and 11.
I've got to ask you, Piavonic's favourite on track, taking a little bit of a set against him?
Yeah, well, I just think coming back to the 1,000-metre mark, the 1,000-metre distance, I think is probably a little bit of a negative. Look, she performs well here, but bearing in mind, normally on a little bit slower ground rather than the good, which I think, again, is another deterrent. But look, you know, she's a high-class horse, and she will probably run well, but I just think she might be awkwardly placed where she's drawn.
Alrighty, so it's Typhoon Billy on top. That's Piavonic on screen. 9, 8, 5 and 11 for the Ian McEwan. It's $4.90 for 8/8s, the tote favourite. On track, the favourite is now equal. Piavonic and 8/8s, Brendan. Terrific race coming up. The $100,000 Ian McEwan as the horses get to the barrier.
Andrew, don't let Alf go away. I've got a quick question for him. Everyone, the ratings, Alf and also Greg Miles have left Sports out. Perhaps another year older, another run under his belt to get fit?
Yes, I would be inclined to think that, Brendan, because looking at him going to the start still just does look as if he's carrying a little bit of surplus there.
OK, well, that happens with age, they tell me, Alf.
Well, it hasn't happened to me.
I'm in trouble then.
Sports, third run back from a spell tonight, $7.20. He won a Lightning Stakes. I think he's won another Group 1 as well too. And he's at $7.20. Better value, New South Wales, if you like him. And ran second in this race last year. Now, the earlier sections for that track gallop, Sir Anabar and Indian Ridge, 600 metres, 35.93. Last 400, 23.78. Last 200, 11.73. Now, we do have correct weighted Dapto on 6, 3 and 8, or should I say an all clear. And an all clear Sandown, 8, 6 and 1. And the first winner on the night over the 1,000 metres ran 12.1. So they've got home 11.73. 12.1 was the first race winner of the night, and that was the very speedy Blue Juice. Well, big race of the night from Moonee Valley. Well, the first of 2 good races. And speaking of stakes performers, here's Greg Miles.
Now, Tilt the Scales is about to move up into the line. Equal favourites on track are 7 Piavonic and 8 8/8s. Piavonic, well, you don't get better form than form around Sunline. A win and a second the last 2 starts. 8/8s. Another that's drawn close in, and that's going to be an advantage here tonight. Performed well in a couple of outings at Moonee Valley with a win and a second. Last start here, in fact, was a second behind Piavonic. Has a win over the very speedy Miss Powerbird to her credit. Sports to come in. He's a 4 times winner here at the track. And in this race last year, he was beaten by Testarossa by about a long neck. He's at $8.20. seemingly always at good odds, isn't he? Field is just about ready to go. Listed race, 1,000. Typhoon Billy the inside. Track in very firm condition. Been running 58 and change. They're set and racing. Typhoon Billy jump well. Tilt the Scales slow. Away fast Arrogance and Sports and Katango. Lot of pace in the race early. As they settle down, 8/8 is just off them. It's Sports narrowly from Katango. Arrogance wide out and 8/8 retaining the fence. 2 lengths Typhoon Billy, Bomber Bill. Strategic Image the outside and Slipstream deeper still. 1 length further back Gala Chief being followed by Tilt the Scales, Ruthless Tycoon and Piavonic as last as they went through the gap. Katango one off the rail. 8/8 for the fence. Sports wide out. The 3 leaders. A length to Arrogance, Bomber Bill. Then Strategic Image. Typhoon Billy behind them on the inside. Followed by Slipstream, Gala Chief, Tilt the Scales, Ruthless Tycoon and Piavonic as they cornered. 8/8 the inside and Sports together around the turn from Strategic Image, who's coming down the outside. Sports the leader from Strategic Image. Here's Slipstream flashing home on the outside and 8/8. Sports still in front. The 3-year-old comes hard. Strategic Image and has got him. Strategic Image has won it from Sports. I think 8/8 maybe third the inside. Tilt the Scales was a big run. Then Bomber Bill closely followed by Piavonic, who's come from last at the home turn to be right on their heels. They were trailed then by Typhoon Billy, Arrogance and Ruthless Tycoon, Gala Chief, Slipstream and Katango has dropped out to finish at the tail of the field.
OK, that's a thrilling race. They've run 58.4 and the numbers coming up. 12 the winner, Strategic Image, trained by Peter Moonee, who's coming down here now with us. Peter, congratulations, mate. Well done.
Yeah, nice effort. Good to bounce back after the disappointment of Ascot Vale, but he's... you know, he's showing that he's a nice horse and probably up with good sprinters.
You put those blinkers on the Ascot Vale. You thought he might just be helped by that, but you took him off today and he settled a lot better. Yeah,
certainly settled better. Probably, you know, an error on my part putting the blinkers on. There's no doubt about that. But, you know, as long as you learn from your mistakes, the first time you're bitten by a dog, it's bad luck. The second time, you're a fool.
How'd you feel in the race? Because you came wide to the home turn, but he really did powder the line to you. Well, Sports has run second again in this race.
Yeah, well, for once, I think I've read a race correct in my life. I thought we'd be 3 deep in the second row. I've said that to the jockey and the owner. That's the way it panned with the lightweight. You know, he's worn down a very good sprinter in Sports, you know.
No doubt about it. Now, having won this race, I know you're probably taking it step by step, but do you keep going?
Well, there's not a lot for the 3-year-old sprinters. There's a weight for age race at Caulfield, but he's had 2 wins at the 1,000 at the Valley now. Maybe a bit of a freshen up and a race like the Moya, or if he pulls up and has enough, we'll spell and go the Triple Crown in the autumn.
OK, and can I get one little tip, if we can, for Saturday? You've scratched Ashley Kate from tonight, specifically for the race in Adelaide?
Yeah, she goes to the South Australian Guineas. She's trained on nice and just thought she might have been suited by the bigger track there, so I'm sure she'll run well.
That's at Vic Park on Saturday. Keep an eye out for it. Ashley Kate. Well done to you, Pete.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks, mate. Peter Moonee, who's really making a mark of things here since he's opened his small satellite stable at Caulfield. And, well, they've won it tonight. Strategic Image and Scott Seamer returning here on the horse. 12-1 and 8. They've run 58.4 seconds, Brendan, and he's done it pretty well. And well done to Scott Seamer. He's made the move down here early in the spring, and as I said, he's already beginning to leave his mark.
He sure is, as is Peter Moonee, who's doing an outstanding job. He was foreman for Bill Mitchell when the very, very smart and champion sprinter General Nadeem was racing. Good to see for Peter Moonee, who's had winners, stakes winners, Adelaide, Melbourne, Brisbane. Stable on fire at the moment. Sandown, we're 6 minutes away.
A lot of conditions are a bit of give in the ground. Tonight's going to be a bit of a worry. The track's pretty firm, and you know, I'm a little bit disappointed we didn't get some rain. I thought this was a nice race, give him the opportunity to win a decent race on a track with a bit of give in it, but it hasn't happened, and I think his chances are diminished a little with the fact that there's no give in the ground. All right, and a quick word, if we can, on Hillsgrove, who ran a ripper of a race in the previous, heading towards a race maybe like the Victoria Derby? Yeah, well, that's what we've got that in mind. You know, he's a horse he's on the improve. It was a good run here tonight. He's still a big dumb soft-looking colt, and he should improve again with that run tonight, and hopefully he can get a decent one for me for the spring.
Maybe can't understand you when you call him like that. Anyway, you're a bit of a query here with this one, just on this firm track.
Yeah, I'm not as confident as I should be.
Okay, thanks, Cole.
Thanks, mate.
Colin Alderson, trainer here of Casino Heights. On-track supporters come for Captivator number 6 in a wide-open race, the JRA Cup, over the 2040. Maybe Rum, if it can keep improving for Dean Lawson, it may go on to the Cups. Let's go to Greg Miles for the Cup.
And Captivator was tried too earlier in betting. Now Rum has moved up near the outside. Currency Rep just getting a little agitated in the gate. Scott Seamer temporarily out of the saddle. Ended up coming through the worst part of the track in its last start at Cheltenham. Now Rain Gauge in the outside barrier is set in company with Rum. They're off. And the Fats was a little slow in the middle of the line. Home Wrecker's going to drift back a touch early, and Talia's going to use the inside gate with good speed. Is in front down to the post the first time. Prince Benbara right up there on the outside, and Currency Rep 4 wide. Captivated just inside it. They all want the lead as they head out of the straight, and now it's as they work out to the 1600 metres. Talia being headed by Captivator. Currency Rep doing some work. And Prince Benbara eased back to be in 4th placing, followed then by Casino Heights outside of Prolific, and then came the Fats. Home Wrecker. They were followed well back in the field then by Break the Back as they run up by the 1500 metres. Further back in the field then is Rum, who's over on the outside. Apache King is on the rail, and Rain Gauge is last of all, but they have run it very hard, and Captivator the leader out by 2.5. Currency Rep 3rd. Talia, a length and a half to Prince Benbara, who races 4th the outside of Prolific. Another 2 lengths behind these horses then is Casino Heights, and on his inside is the Fats, followed by Break the Back. Home Wrecker, a neck then to Rum, and 2 lengths Apache King and Rain Gauge together at the tail. In the run to the 800 metre turn, and Captivator is the leader. He's out by a little more than a length to Currency Rep. Talia 3rd the inside. Prince Benbara's had a pretty good run after that early hustle and bustle. He's 4th on the outside in the red colours, followed by Prolific. Around them then goes Rum. He's pulling his way up towards the leaders, followed by Casino Heights, the Fats. Rain Gauge is getting a good card into the race on the back of Rum, and well back still Apache King and Break the Back. Captivator the leader coming up towards the turn. Rum gets to 2nd from Prince Benbara. Talia. Here's Rain Gauge coming with his run. He's working home strongly up towards the turn. Captivator in front of Rum, and Rain Gauge, who's continuing to work home well. Prince Benbara feeling his big weight. Captivator grabbed by Rum, in turn by Rain Gauge coming down the outside. The big fellow Rum is the leader. Rain Gauge is coming after him. Prolific's running on with 100 metres to go. Rain Gauge getting to Rum. Rain Gauge finished the better, and Rain Gauge a neck to Rum. 2 lengths Prolific 3rd. Home Wrecker did his best work when it was all over 4th. Captivator on the fence 5th. Then came the Fats, followed by Prince Benbara, Talia, and then came Break the Back and Apache King. At the tail of the field, Casino Heights and Currency Rep. Rain Gauge a shade too good there, beautifully ridden by Greg Childs, finished the race too well in beating Rum 2nd and Prolific 3rd. It'll be 8, 9 and 11 on the running of race number 6 today in 2:6.3. A very fast run race. He was able to settle off them, and continuing that strong form line of Primrose Sands here, whom he dead heated with last time out. Rum, good effort under Damien Oliver, just being pegged back by Rain Gauge over the concluding stages there, so the form holding up from that one race at Flemington last time out. And Prolific in 3rd place. Numbers confirmed and official 8, 9 and 11. Captivator doing some work to find the front, and was a little suspect at the distance. Home Wrecker charging at the end of the race when it was all over, but that strong form race at Flemington holding up very well here at Moonee Valley. Rain Gauge winning his 2nd race from 8 outings at this track, and really relishing the step up in journey this evening. 8, 9 and 11. Winner trained by George Hanlon, ridden by Greg Childs. Is by Ken Vane, but he just wants to get out and stay the way he's racing now. And a fine effort in getting home. 8, 9, 11. 4th, number 5, Home Wrecker. 5th was 6, Captivator. Prince Benbara, who won this race last year with 51.5 kilos, I think it was, just seemed to feel his weight of 58 tonight. He sat up on the pace, but he was battling by the time they came up towards the home turn.
OK, we're down here with George Hanlon. Well done to you, George. Well ridden.